Greetings everyone and happy spring. I just wanted to give you a little update on the Contemplative Studies program, which launched this past weekend with our first workshop entitled Awareness. And we had an unbelievable turnout, of course, almost 10 different countries represented, from as far east as Alaska and Hawaii all the way through to Hong Kong and Goa. Nearly more than 100 people signed up for the inaugural launch of the Contemplative Studies program. I'm so pleased and excited by that turnout and that interest. That level of interest is staggering to me, particularly because we didn't have a lot of time to promote, and the program was assembled by an amazing team, but in a very short time span, just 3 months. So that for me is I think a testament worth noting that perhaps the current milieu or current zeitgeist of our contemporary society, our modern culture, and the kind of sensationalized marketing pitches and the kind of pseudo-psychology, pseudo-spirituality that has become pervasive, these kinds of glamorized, quick fix culture, I think we may be seeing the dawning of the tail end of that legacy. People, I hope and I believe, are going to very soon here grow very disillusioned with the laws of attraction and the golden promises that their meditation practice can provide just about every kind of narcissistic indulgence that that our inner childs are seeking through our spiritual practice. And eventually people will wake up to the fact that a true spiritual practice is a challenge. And that there are no quick fixes, and that everything takes time, particularly much longer than we want it to, and an investment of much more energy than we want it to, and that our narcissistic fantasies are really just a cycle of self-perpetuating misery. I mean, think about it. If it were really true that you could do this program or read this book or do this meditation exercise and just about everything that you've ever wished for in terms of fame and fortune and self-aggrandizement and success were to come true, then why would it be any different than any success you've ever had in the past? It just requires a little observation and a little thinking that every success that you've ever achieved on whatever spectrum or gradient has been short-lived. And every moment of fame has also been replaced by the paranoia that you're going to lose it. And so these kinds of ambitions that our pervasive Western culture sets up as the epitome of a good life, I think we are growing, having achieved many of these pinnacles, I think we are growing into an honest self-assessment that none of them really pay off the way that we had hoped to. And so why should it be any different with the kind of spiritual platitudes and ambitions that are being touted by well-established marketing regimes, that we could have it all. We could gain this celebrity through your meditation practice. We could gain that, build out your Fortune 500 company if you know how to use your mind. It's absolutely absurd. It only reinforces narcissism, which is the binds that shackle us to a life of cyclic dissatisfaction. And so I think very, very slowly people are crawling out of the spell, what I call the siren songs of modern spiritual marketing and the gurus out there, the marketing gurus. We are waking up to the fact that we will need eventually to return to an authentic spiritual lineage that has lasted on this planet for thousands of years, that doesn't tout that all your narcissistic fantasies should be achieved, but actually that you should go beyond your narcissistic fantasies. You should see through them. You should pierce the veils of that echo chamber and discover that you are much more than just what you need in this present moment. You are an infinite being, and your job here is to awaken to that fact in order to benefit others. And so it simply becomes a way station, this idea that you recognize that you're an infinite being is just the beginning of your opportunity to forge a network with many other living beings in order to help raise the bar of their awareness so that they can have further opportunities that they might otherwise not see or not avail themselves of. And so I'm very pleased with the launch of the program. I think it marks the beginning of the end of this kind of childlike view of spirituality in our culture. And what it shows me is more than 100 people are willing to do a 2-year program, which involves rigorous study and a lot of time and investment to get your meditation practice, and vulnerability to share with others, and a long commitment, and no promises about what happens on the other side of it, but almost a humility and a sincerity and a sense of integrity that finally you are on a path. And that is so amazing and so precious, given all the options that we see in our current marketplace, that really we have so many ways to get lost and very few ways to be found. And so what refuge provides, at least in this lineage, the contemplative science lineage of Buddhism derived from the Nalanda tradition, is that once you understand what refuge is, you're never lost again. And but that doesn't mean that pain stops. That doesn't mean that fear stops. That doesn't mean that moments of contextual scarcity stop. It means that we open to reality as it is, and we have the confidence that we can embrace reality, and we realize that purpose is more important than pleasure. And so I'm very, very pleased that so many people signed on. This is just the beginning. We had to close out, due to the success, we had to close out 2 of our pathways. The Bodhisattva and Mahasattva pathways are now closed for the first year. Those are our highest level engagement paths. That's when there's a virtual study group in the cloud where people can meet. But their yogi path is still available, and the yogi path is really our flagship path. That is the path where you get all the content up in the cloud for the first year, including 24 classes, 4 meditation retreats, quizzes, readings, syllabus, guided meditations, and you really work independently. Of course, you can use the discussion board to ask questions and get some feedback from other peers in the program, but you can enter at any time and join the journey with us. So I just want to make sure that people recognize that that opportunity is still available, and we really hope that just the sheer quality of the experience inspires people to share their experience with others and invite them into the journey with us along the gradual path. I feel very blessed and fortunate. I always like to pause and thank my teacher, Geshe Tenzin Zopa, for being such an inspiring bodhisattva, truly working from the inside out to benefit others. He is our main inspiration, but of course my team also has just amazed me. Allison and Cole and Lainey and all the facilitators that are now going to act as a kind of as ambassadors to the program and help guide people along the path. It's just an unbelievable boon of human effort and inspiration, and I'm so thrilled, I'm so pleased, I'm so humbled, and I want to thank everybody that's involved, everybody that will become involved, everybody that has been involved. May we truly use our precious life to benefit others. I look forward to connecting with you soon if you're already involved in the program, and if you're considering joining us, please, if this resonates with you, now is the time to get involved. All best wishes.